So obviously now I've been flying a very long time on a paramotor. I've actually had 4 different paramotors and only 2 that I fly full time. My Minari F1 and my Nitro as well. I fly them all the time. It gets to people that are beginners or wanting to fly or thinking about flying. One of the most common questions people ask is what is actually needed to be a paramotor pilot. I don't mean as in licenses, I mean the physical attributes of paramotor pilot. So I thought I'd do a very quick video to give you an insight. Now, I go on about this all the time, but I still need to because I do have new followers all the time. I am a double amputee from below knee. I have no feet, but I do have knees. So in theory, I'm disabled. So as an amputee, the key for me is balance. Can I balance it with the engine on my back? Can I run and balance myself when I inflate the wing? Can I reverse kite? Can I do everything that a normal person flying can do? Well, the answer obviously is yes, because I fly them. I don't do paramotor with a trike. I do paramotor foot launch. So what is required? It's pretty simple. Can you walk with weight on your back for around 50 meters? Now that is excessive. 50 meters is a very, very long way, especially in paramotor forms. But the reason why I say 50 meters, it allows for failed launches, failed takeoffs. Can you control your walk with weight on your back? That means, do you hobble? Is one leg slower than the other? Do you have any balance issues during that walk with weight on your back? If the answer is yes, then foot launch isn't for you. Now, for me, both my legs are equal speed. I run fast, I can sprint, I do tons of sport, loads of activities, and I'm in the gym all the time. That's where I'm going now. By the way, I'm watching the road, I'm not watching the camera. So, 50 meter walk with some weight on your back. If you can walk it, the next thing, can you jog that? Can you jog with the weight on your back? The weight on your back really, ideally, needs to be 30 kilos. The average paramotor does not weigh 30 kilos. The average paramotor weighs 24 to 28 kilos with fuel. The reason why I say 30 kilos, because the impact of landing, it obviously increases the weight greatly for a very short period of time. So, can you now walk with the 30 kilos? Can you now jog with the 30 kilos? Remember, we have a propeller that's going to push you along. So in theory, the jogging on the ground with the weight on your back is not really going to tell you too much other than you can cope with the excess weight. The wing on inflation, once you've got used to the inflation and how to kite the wing lifts nearly all of the weight off in the first 2 steps. Within 4 steps, you are pretty much weightless. And if you've gone full throttle, you're more or less off the ground. But kiting is the key. So, do your legs then have stamina? Can your legs cope with 30 kilos base weight? Can your legs cope holding that weight for a long period of time? Remember, kiting, getting the wing stable, getting yourself stable, getting yourself under control takes a lot of effort. I tend to sweat heavily when I'm sorting myself out, when I'm ready to go, getting my straps all in, preparing myself for takeoff, on top of maybe failing to launch. So can you stand in one spot with excess weight, with balance, with control for around 5 minutes? That's allowing setup, preparation, the mental toughness that you sometimes have to go through. I'm going to do it, that sort of thing. Can you cope? Is it too much for you? Paramotor foot launch is not for you. Now that part of it's the easy part as far as I'm concerned. Doing all this is simple, but now it's about controlling yourself. Are you able to put force against the paramotor, something that's going to push you forward? You need to resist at first. You need to resist, otherwise what will happen, you'll tend to fall flat on your face. The push is up top heavy, it starts to push you like that. So when you run, you need to have your body at an angle, sort of leaning back. That gives you optimum thrust position. So again, can you cope with that? These are all such basic questions, but honestly, in paramotor, they are so important. So what I'm trying to explain to you is a theory of how you control yourself, how much weight you can handle over a long period of time, and then obviously, can you deal with the different things that you have to deal with, like thrust. So can you deal with them? That's great. You've got off the ground. You've done fantastic. You're now flying. Now we've got to reverse that. Can you now get yourself to stop after you've landed? That means that when you come into land, you've got one foot in front of the other. It's a car. 1 second. It's going to go around this car before I pull in because I'm going to the gym. So basically, when you land, you have 1 foot in front of the other. Normally use your good leg to get yourself down. So you got your good leg facing forward, and then the one behind is your trailing leg. And by having your leg in front, it basically allows you to start your automatic run when you land. Can you stop the speed of around 10 miles an hour, roughly, remember, to zero very quickly? We tend to run out our paramotor landings. But a lot of people make the mistake of just trying to stop like it's a parachute landing. Feet out and boom. And then what happens is you land on your butt, land on your face, all these sorts of things. They're a big issue in paramotor. Not the end of the world. Every beginner goes through this scenario. I had a very long period of landing on my butt. So can you deal with that? Can you actually land with the paramotor on your back? These are all things that you have to take into consideration, isn't it? You know, it's not the be all and end all. Here, see me eyes, woohoo! So there you go. These are roughly what you need to be a paramotor pilot in the way of strength. The rest of it is skill that you'll build up over time, over lessons. And it's not a hard skill. It's all about control and not being overwhelmed by what you're doing. So from my side of it, the way I like to look at paramotor is you're only as safe as you choose to be. Paramotor is a very safe sport. If you look, there's been some accidents recently. There's been some deaths through the sport, and pretty much all of them could have been avoided. It's very simple. You do pre-flight, you pre-flight your gear, your pre-flight items, you check everything's good, safe, and they're ready to go. Control, are you safe enough? What's your limit? What's your flying level ability? Don't go too quick, too fast, you know, step by step, become a pilot over time. So I hope that this gives you a bit of insight into what you need to be in way of strength-wise to be a paramotor pilot that foot launches. And I wish everybody great success if you choose the sport. Have a great day. Bye.